the world itself is a smaller place. As we look at this whole notion of how small and how frequent we must cross paths, it's important that we break down some of the barriers that are out there. This tying together of the cultures and the societies, I think, gives a lot of insight to us and to them that people are people, the world is small, we're not that different from one another. At Rose Festival, we bring the Shu-Te High School girls here. While they're here, they are learning, and then they are also exposing our citizens to the culture of China. 20 of the girls will be paddling in a race. It's actually a demonstration race on Sunday afternoon of the Dragon Boat races. They also perform in the Grand Floral Parade. And then we also host a delegation from the city government. And this year there'll be over 20 members in that delegation. All of this internationalizes the city. The school itself started as a commercial high school for girls. So this high school was established about 18 years ago, and they prepare the girls to be in job ready and ready to go into the business world or back to the university. Finding host families who are willing to open their homes for a week is kind of interesting, especially the first time out.
The first year we did it was intentionally done as a cultural thing for my children. I thought, well, I'd really like to expose them to different cultures.
We've had dancers before. It was really interesting to watch them, and then it was just fun to pick out who's the girl that was staying at your house. It's a really cool experience.
The kids have responded by being first very, very curious, and now they just sort of take it for granted that it's going to be a great experience, and they truly enjoy it. I've told them at some point you may outgrow doing this when you don't want to give up your rooms to share, and they're going, no, we want to keep doing it.
We have several families. There are families with children from China who have adopted Chinese.
Both ways there was interest. My little girls were interested in these young women who are Chinese, and then Taiwanese girls were interested in our kids and curious as to why we had adopted, and so we had a lot of discussions. Our girls are from Jiangxi province, and we adopted them when they were each about 9 months old. They now go to a school that has a Mandarin immersion program. I hope this will be a great opportunity for them to be using some of what they learn.
It was interesting to try to use their little electronic translator to get some abstract ideas across.
We had to use a lot of physical language, everything was some kind of movement. We used a lot of body English to talk with them. But I got kind of frustrated with certain important issues about complex questions. So what I did was I took a lot of the commonly confusing situations and tried to formulate some questions and answers, and then we put the booklet together so that we lay it out, and I made a little paragraph for them. I said, welcome to our home, we want you to be comfortable, we'll keep this where everyone can have access to it.
What we have, I believe, is a opportunity for a very short term, 6 nights, where there is intense kind of involvement.
We have so much fun just being with them, because everything, it's like having new eyes, where you can just drive down the road and everything. If you start using their eyes a little bit, you can look at the world a little bit through their eyes. But sometimes you see the wonder of an 8-year-old in them. The opportunity to, just go out, have ice cream and go walk in a park or something like that, and throw the dog a frisbee. You see a real youthfulness out of girls that are young adults.
I'm younger and I'm about their age, so they want to spend time with me and do stuff. So sometimes watch television, play games.
And we asked the families to not change their daily routine.
Show them the neighborhood park and do the Rose Festival with them.
We usually go to the Dragon Boat races and go to the Fun Center and do that, and shopping They love to shop.
6 days just flies by.
It goes so fast. Every night they'll come home and they'll say, what do you want to do? Shopping.
If you want to entertain them, take them to the mall, take them to Fred Meyer's, take them to Target, and they're entertained.
The shop until you drop comes up with some of them. Some are more curious about souvenirs. Some of them like to buy American novelty nummies, items, everything from bags of candies and all sorts of fascinating little lollipops and unusual things that probably cost a great deal more there and maybe they don't have access to.
What's kind of funny is they like Doritos and stuff. That's usually what they buy.
I would say the funniest thing you do with them is try to get them dressed to go to Mount Hood. You have to make sure you have extra hats, extra gloves, extra everything.
We take them to Mount Hood, up to Timberline, and then down to Hood River and Cascade Locks. And they visit the dam and they visit the waterfalls. And that's a day-long tour on Thursday. There are no rivers in Taiwan that are anything like our Columbia River. We have very comfortable buses because they are going to sleep during most of the time until they stop and walk around.
We didn't realize, how many things we would get to do. They have the dragon boat races, and they'll let us go into the pavilion with them. We bring a cooler and a chair, and then we also get a dance performance that they put on for us. It's wonderful.
It's a full-blown performance, hour and 15 minutes of music and dance that is spectacular, and it's a very limited audience. It's ticket only, and the host families are the primary single group to attend.
We love the performance, the Monday night performance. That was one of our motivations, was to make sure that we could see the performance again.
All the dances are the clothing and the makeup work and all. It's done by the students. So they make their own clothing, they make all of this stuff. It's absolutely beautiful.
Belinda's the choreographer, the music director for the choreography and the dancers. We started with no English communication at all, and over the years her English has improved and my understanding of her stage directions has become a lot better. Each dance is composed of different movements, so we have to communicate when the lights move, with which movement. Some of the movements will last several measures in the music, and then others are very quick. We've been able to facilitate their requirements a lot better over the years. Each year, the culmination of that exchange becomes more fruitful for us in what you see as an audience member.
We see costume folk dancing that goes back and demonstrates stories from the earlier times, whether it be tea gathering or whether it be a romantic story about a newlywed couple or whatever it might be. There are a number of different dances that tell different kinds of stories. Then the orchestra itself is a formal orchestra, and strings and wind instruments and timpani and brass stuff. Some of them are very ancient instruments. They're very, very proficient with that number of students, and they select out about 30 of them to come into their orchestra here.